Let's rock. Hobby with Cage, episode 244.
Welcome to the Hobby with Cage.
Welcome to the Hobby with Cage. 244 solo episodes. Man, that number's getting up there. I like counting. People don't. I like counting. And so far, I've been able to withstand all the efforts to get me into a network. I am my own network. Thanks to Bleecker Trading and Arena Club for keeping me the Cage network. And the question of the day, what the hell am I doing in this hobby? Now, that title you may like, what the hell am I getting out? Am I leaving? This is crazy. And trust me, there's a conversation to be had there. Trust me, there is a conversation to be had about this crazy space that we all seem to love. But no, it's a little more nuanced than that. I don't know if you're like me, guys, but I am like heads or tails, hot or cold. It depends on what pillow I slept with, what side of the bed I woke up on, what I think I'm going to do in this market. Because, man, I promised a couple people who DM me, I'm not going to use the word frothy anymore, but man, frothy, bubbly, whatever the hell you want to use for this. You know, you can throw a rock and it will hit a card in a slab that is selling for 3 or 4 times what it sold for last year. That's crazy. That's crazy. And we've seen it before, and we've seen it kind of, fall off and tail off. What's crazy about it is the emotional roller coaster of it. And I'll tell you, I yesterday, I was sure that what I was going to do was try to take a little bit of profit. I was sure. I was so sure that I even went to one of my favorite consigners and filled out a consignment form. About $100,000 worth of cards. Didn't put a tracking number yet because I didn't track it out. Didn't, mail it out yet, so I don't have a tracking number. I'm not one of these fancy guys with labels and stuff. I go to the place, I pay for the shipping, and then I get the tracking number. But anyway, here I am ready to send it out. And this morning I wake up and I get another DM from somebody saying, "Hey, I like this card of yours. Can we talk about it? I want to maybe buy one for my own collection." And we have a conversation. And the more I talk with people about that particular type of card and player, the less I want to sell it, the more I believe in the long-term prospects, even though it has run. And of course, that card was one of the ones I was going to send in for consignment. So now, a couple hours later, I'm ready to not sell. I'm ready to hold, because the flip side is I have sold some cards recently. And as crazy as this is going to sound, even though there was a remarkable run-up on the cards that I sold, and even though the price that I got far outweighs the price that I paid, if someone said to me right now, I got a magic wand, a Harry Potter, not a Harry Potter card, a Harry Potter wand, and they said to me right now, you could snap your fingers, Thanos style, whatever it is, and go back to the day you handed the card over and got the money back, I think I would keep the card. For a couple reasons. And this is the most important part, I think, of today's 5 minutes Hobby with Cage. Because I know there's folks out there thinking about selling. You're not selling your card at today's price at a multiple of what it is, and are able to get some of the other cards you were thinking about buying when you bought that card. You're not going to be able to do that for the most part. Because all those other cards you were thinking about buying, that other card that you passed on to buy this one that ran, most likely have also gone up. Maybe not the same amount, but most likely they've also gone up. So one of the things that I try to think about in the mathematics of it is, sure, I could take some profit, but what am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with that money? Because if the plan is to keep it in cardboard, which it usually is, you should probably have that plan include what cardboard you're buying. Maybe even be halfway through or fully through negotiating the deal. Especially if the person's willing to wait for you to get your consignment money back or use a funding service or whatever it might be. Because what I've found is you take that profit and then you're sitting there saying, what should I buy? And it doesn't take long to realize that just like your cards went up in value, everyone else's did too. And even worse, not only did their cards go up, but they've now had a chance to digest this new market, and everybody's being greedy. So that card you even thought you might overpay for to get from somebody's collection, they know that you just sold the card for more. They know how much a green Kaboom went for. They know how much a gold prism went for. They know all this stuff because it's all out there. They know the prices. So expect to pay even more, because at this point in the cycle, everybody's like this now. And even me, who's like, I should take profit for some of these cards and I should put these cards out there so someone else who maybe sold can get one of these cards. Even me, I'm like, nah, now's not the time. I think it's time to be greedy and hang on to it because it's going to go up even more. It hasn't gone up enough. You got to think about that. It's great to take some profit, but if your plan is to move it into another card, maybe have that plan kind of, formalize, where the money's going. Otherwise, you can be like me. You're going to sell a card and sit there saying, what do I buy next? And watch the market pass you by. So anyway, it's a fun one. It's 5 minutes. It's where I'm, where my brain is today. It's almost 7 minutes. How about those Yankees? Look like they're coming back on track. I know nobody wants to hear about my Yankee talk, but man, 9 home runs yesterday. Stanton, Judge hit his 40th. Another one for a 40 home run season. Ohtani hit another home run. Pretty nuts. I know most people don't really love baseball, but it's getting to be that time of year where I get excited about the Yankees. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, there's 7 minutes of my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Are you in the same kind of pattern here? You same kind of like, I'm thinking about selling, but I just can't pull the trigger. Are you also thinking about selling and then buying? You reach out to somebody to buy something and their price is like double what you thought it was going to be because of the way the new market landscape is? That's what I'm finding too. Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you for listening to The Hobby with Cage.
Thank you for listening to The Hobby with Gage. Brought to you by Arena Club and Trading, my own network. Talk to you guys soon.